and good morning, Miramar. I'm your host, Tamara G. Welcome to the show. Don't forget, you can check us out on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. That's Miramar. And we all know it's right here in Miramar. And right here with me this morning is our very own Edwin Shepard. He is the founder and the CEO, executive director, all of it, of Bicep. And we're going to be talking with him about his nonprofit. It's bicep.org, what they're doing for the young folks in our community, and how this all came to him. So welcome to the show, Edwin.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you, and honor.
No problem. No problem. Listen, anytime people are doing good in the neighborhood, I want to talk to them. So tell us a little bit about the organization and what you guys do.
The organization is called Bicep, which stands for Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Exchange Program. We are based in Miami, Florida, and currently we are working on sending 10 students and 4 adult chaperones from Miami Central Senior High to the continent of Africa, to the motherland, to the country of Botswana. And so we will be leaving on Thursday, July the 14th of 2022, and we are currently in our fundraising mode and just getting the word out of what we're doing.
That's awesome. So now tell us about the organization as far as Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Exchange Program. What is it all about?
Well, the actual word, the first word, blindfolded, actually came from a film documentary that I did back in 2018 called Blindfolded: How They Hid My Heritage From Me. And it basically, I documented my travels through South Africa and Botswana, respectively. And the trip actually, the origin of the trip was supposed to be to Haiti, where my mother's from. And so while playing on this very laptop that I'm on, I was just, doodling on looking at plane tickets, and saw that the tickets to Africa was pretty reasonable. Mm-hmm. And so instead of heading to Haiti, I switched the plans and switched it to Africa, and wanted to document my travels through pictures. And then I was encouraged to document it through film. So the dialogue between, students from Miami Central Senior High and students from Ledumang, which is in Gaborone, Botswana, which is the capital city, their dialogue was so profound on just pretty much on how they viewed each other, how Black Americans or African Americans viewed Africa. Was it the same views that I had back when I was their age? Mm-hmm. And some of the views were pretty much the same. So it was very profound to know that students at that time, which was then 2018, had the same views of Africa that I had some almost 30 years ago. And right. So that particular film gave birth to the actual student cultural exchange program.
I love the fact that you are introducing students to something that, well, I might as well say, hell, as an adult, I haven't been to Africa yet. So
you should come with us.
I would love to. Oh my God. Well, look, I'm on that payment plan. I got to start way early to put my money down. But no, the fact that you are introducing them to something that, obviously is not an everyday occurrence. Everybody doesn't go to Africa every day. And so how did the students feel about it's one thing to see it on a film, which you've done, but to actually want to be in person? How do they feel about that, and what do they say?
They're really excited. We were able to successfully bring 10 students from Botswana to Miami back in 2020, January 2020, pre-COVID. Pre-COVID. Yep. So they were here. They arrived on the 11th of January and stayed all the way up until like the 24th of that January. And then the first case of COVID in the US happened like literally after they left. But we were able to raise funds to bring them down. All 10 students attended classes at Miami Central High, and they had an amazing time. And I think one of the students that I would like to mention real quick, her name is Julie, and she was very apprehensive on wanting to travel to America because she heard that Black Americans don't like Africans.
Wow, really?
17-year-old young lady. And she was the only one that was kind of on the fence, even being selected to come to America. She just didn't want to travel to somewhere where she didn't feel welcome or she wouldn't feel loved. But her parents encouraged her and said that it would be the opportunity of a lifetime. And she said that, you know, when arriving and meeting students from Miami Central, that she felt like she was at home. So I'm glad that she was able to get that experience. But these are some of the negative connotations that we have about Africa and some of the ones that the negative they have of us. And so we're trying to get students, our youth together to change that narrative and create their own narrative. And the only way you can do that is by having a cultural exchange program like this so you can learn from one another and share ideas, share experiences, share cultures.
Okay. If you're just tuning in to Good Morning Miramar, first of all, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. And we're speaking with Edwin Shepard. He is the founder and director of Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Exchange Program, otherwise known as BICEP, where he is getting ready to take 4 students from Miami Central to
You were right at
Botswana.
10.
Or is it 10? Okay,
It's
10
10.
students
It's 10. Yes.
to Botswana this coming summer in July. And I wanted to ask this question. Well, first of all, let's put this out there. If people want to donate, how can they do so? Let's do that right now.
If people wanted to donate, they can simply go on our website, which is bicep.org, and that's spelled BISCEP.org. And they can just go to the donate button and they will make their contributions and donations via PayPal. We are a 501c3, we are a nonprofit.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to ask the question of when the 10 students that came from Botswana over here, did you find that, teens are the same everywhere they go? Or were the teens from Africa different from the teens in America as far as just what they do in their spare time, the slang, how they talk, or, was it different or was it the same? Kids are the
You know
same.
what? It was the same. It really was the same. I think the only challenges that the students from Botswana had was the food here in the States. They did not like the food in the States. For some, yeah, they said that, the food's not good here in the States. So I think there was only one restaurant that they really enjoyed, which was the very first restaurant we took them to upon arrival. But they
Which
seemed
was, gonna give them a shout out. What restaurant was that?
it was the Argentina Steakhouse at Bayside.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but it's like all the way towards like the end of the
Yeah,
food court on the
yeah,
second floor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they weren't into the fast foods. They weren't into any of that stuff that we have.
No, they're not big on fast foods there. They're that region. They're in the southern region of Africa, which is South Africa is the neighboring country. So a lot of the families they still are in households where the parents cook. The mother cook and stuff like that. So even though at the country there are fast food places there, it's everywhere, just like anywhere else here in the States. Fast food is just not a big thing for them. Though they did get a kick out of seeing McDonald's for the first time because they don't have McDonald's in their country.
Oh, well, I know y'all went there and get
Yeah.
those fries and a Big Mac. Okay. And so, okay, so that's one thing that was different was that they don't like our fast foods.
Yeah.
What about the music? What about the culture that was here? Did they enjoy that, or
Yeah,
was it so foreign to them?
they enjoy. I mean, they are able to see a lot of things here. As far as Western civilization, they see a lot of the shows on TV, so they're very caught up to speed on what's going on here in the States. I think probably one of the big differences that they have is the education culture, which was really a big change for them. Their teaching system is very strict, so it's not as it doesn't give. They don't have a lot of say so into answering certain questions. They don't have that leeway that American students have, where it's interactive. There's no interactive between student and teacher. It's kind of like the teacher teaches and the student says yes. Where here in America, especially with their experience at Miami Central, there's more of an interaction between student and teachers, and students are able to answer certain questions, are able to dialogue with the teacher where they're not able to have that type of dialogue.
Mhm. I was kind of taken aback when you said that the 17-year-old girl was thinking that, we wouldn't like her or Americans wouldn't like her, or was she thinking Black Americans or was she thinking all America?
She was thinking Black Americans.
Really? And that is so strange because truth be told, you can't tell where any Black person is from until they open their mouths.
Yes.
And even then you can't tell. You have to ask them because we're such a melting pot. I wonder, where did that come from? Did she ever say, was it something she saw on TV or
It might have been something that she saw on TV. I didn't ask. I would love to ask her. I'm actually heading back in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So hopefully I have the opportunity to see some of the students. They're all in university right now. They're all attending University of Botswana, all except one who's attending an accounting school. But I would definitely love to see, what prompted her to say that and what made her feel, what was it that made her feel that way.
Right. And so now when you take the 10 from Miami Central to Botswana this summer, what's on their agenda? Like, what is it? Are they just chilling? They going to the beach every day? What's going on?
Well, there's no beach over there.
Right.
Yeah, because it's landlocked. So when the students came down, it was their first time seeing the beach ever. They've never seen the beach.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was an experience. So heading there for the students from Miami Central, they'll be attending classes. The itinerary is pretty similar. It's just going to be on the Africa end. So they will be attending classes between 5 to 7 days. They have cultural field trips that we're going to have. They'll have the opportunity to visit the United States Embassy, which is in Botswana. There'll be representatives of the United States Peace Corps that's going to actually meet with the students and tell them about the opportunity of being a Peace Corps volunteer.
Amazing.
Yeah, they have a meeting. Well, they're actually going to be hosted by the chancellor of the University of Botswana. She was the first female ambassador in Botswana, and she's also an HBCU alum of Morgan State.
Okay,
Yeah, so
awesome.
I think that'll be nice to, someone from the country who actually went to HBCU in the United States.
United
So I think
States.
having that opportunity to see that and to see people who's actually from there and lived here in America, I think those dynamics will pose a very special experience for them.
And so how did these 10 that are coming from Miami Central going to Botswana in July, how were they selected? Because I'm sure you probably had kids, wanting to sign up. You had 300 kids on the first day on, yeah, we want to go to Africa. Yes.
Well, I don't make the selection process. Thank goodness, because the last thing I would want is for some parent to call me and say, why my child wasn't selected. And so the person that makes the selections are the school. The activities director, her name is Ms. Shotwell. She makes the selection for those students. So she pretty much makes her selection through, the leaders like FBLA, senior Congress, people who have influence, maybe president of the ROTC. That's how she makes the selection. People that stand down and who are looked at as leaders in the school.
I don't even know if the kids, and I say kids, young adults now,
Yeah.
soon to be young adults, know how awesome this is. I didn't take my first plane ride until I was 21. and that was to San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, and here they are at what, 16, 17 years old?
16, 17.
And they are getting a trip of a lifetime to witness something or be a part of something that, just doesn't happen every day.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. I'm right there with you. I didn't take my first plane ride until around the same age, and it was just to Atlanta.
Right.
But but it was such a experience for me. So I can imagine, being on that flight, at that age, getting ready to head to Africa. You don't know what to expect. No matter how much information that I give to these students, and even the faculty that'll be traveling with us, can prepare them, mentally, from what they'll experience when they land, what they'll see, and just all of the surroundings. So I'm gonna be living vicariously through them. Even though I've traveled so many times there, I'm gonna be a little kid enjoying their reaction.
Right. Well, I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're speaking today with Edwin Shepherd. He is the founder and director of Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Exchange Program, otherwise known as BICEP, BISCEP. You can, of course, donate to bicep.org, BISCEP, to help these students get to Botswana this summer. That's in July. So all donations will be accepted. Doesn't matter how big or small, right, Edwin?
It doesn't matter how big or small. It all adds up. We
Absolutely.
appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
And giving them, of course, this opportunity of a lifetime to be a cultural exchange student. I always wanted to do it myself. And again, they're just getting an opportunity of a lifetime that opens their eyes up to so much more, and to know that, everything is not the American way. Everything is
Yes.
not, it's not our way or the highway. There are other cultures, there's other countries, continents that do things differently than how we do them in.
It's 2 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah. So was that our time to go?
No, that's I haven't figured out how to turn that off yet, so please ignore
No,
that.
no problem. I was gonna, you know what? I've got some people who actually are on a timer and they stop and pray. I have a girlfriend who
Oh
does
wow,
that.
okay.
It reminds her to pray at that time. So I love that. But now you said there's staff that's going to be going as well, and the kids. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So how do you handle, moving all these people around, particularly in a foreign, land?
Well, it'll be rather easy because we have the support from the Ministry of Basic Education Botswana, which is pretty much the same thing as Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Okay.
So we have their support. So they'll be providing transportation for the students from the hotel to the school and back. And they will also provide food. The same thing that Central provided for the students when they were here. It's pretty much the same thing because we partnered with Miami-Dade County Public Schools when those students arrived. They all got IDs. And so it just made them feel like they were part of the entire student body, and actually made them feel like they were, American kids. So I have the board, well, not the board, but the faculty that traveled to Miami is now part of the BICEP board because they know the program, they've experienced it. So they're the ones that's assisting me on the ground with everything going on in Botswana and making the preparations for us to arrive in Botswana in July.
Okay, great. Co-ed, is this a co-ed group that's going?
Yes, it is. We have 6 girls and we have 4 boys.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
it's the same as when the students came now, six girls and 4 boys.
Okay. Well, if you would like to donate, please do so at bicep.org. That's BISCEP.org. Stands for Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Program, Cultural Exchange Program. So we would love for these students to be able to experience this. Obviously, you guys are doing fundraising. You're trying to, offset a lot of the costs because,
Yeah.
this isn't a trip to Disney World. It's going to cost
No,
you a little bit.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely a lot of money.
So for the students that you're taking, is this their first plane ride anywhere, or have many of them traveled?
I think out of the 10, I think 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them have flown on a plane and the rest of them haven't. And so their only concern, I think they were all jacked up about, traveling to Africa, is just that leg from Newark, New Jersey to South Africa, which is 14 hours and 38 minutes in the air.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell them to get up and walk up and down the aisle
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And get some good sleep, because when you
Definitely
get
get
there,
some good
they're going
sleep.
to be hitting the ground running, right?
Yeah. Well, for the most part, we land in South Africa and we have to stay overnight in Johannesburg, and we have a morning flight to Botswana, which is only a 55-minute flight. And the weekend that we land on a Saturday, so it'll take 2 days before we actually get to Botswana. But the weekend that we land is their President's Day weekend, so it'll be festive and schools will be closed probably on that Monday. So they'll have enough time to arrive and get acclimated with the time change because they're 6 hours ahead of us.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So again, if you would like to donate, the trip is coming up very soon in July of this year, and it is Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Exchange Program, or BICEP.org, BISCEP.org, to get these students from Miami Central High School to be able to be in this foreign exchange with the students from Botswana. It was done 3 years ago, right before the pandemic, of course, and and now we're returning the favor. Or they're returning the favor, having students from Miami Central come to Botswana to learn and to study and to just be open to other cultures and things that are happening. So again, if you would like to donate, BICEP.org, BISCEP.org. Thank you so much, Edwin Shepard, the founder and director of Blindfolded International Student and Cultural Exchange Program. Certainly appreciate you being here today, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.